going on? What's going on? Welcome to Urban Renal Talk with Tamika and Steve. I am your host, Steve Belcher. My partner, Tamika Moore, has the night off. So welcome. Man, this is going to be a great broadcast tonight. How's everyone doing? Give me a thumbs up to let me know that you're watching this broadcast. Share this broadcast so we can make it global. We would like to get 50 people on this broadcast. Now, let me ask you something before we get started with the show and our special guest, author and kidney warrior, Tay Veazey, author of Becoming a Living Testimony, right out of Memphis, Tennessee. We got him in here tonight. But before we talk to Tay, where else on this planet are you going to have a network of just kidney shows? You lucky we don't have a TV show like episodes of kidney disease. That's coming. That's coming, right? But look, where else are you going to get information? 8 to 10 shows on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, all centered around kidney disease, something that we all have in common. So that's why I say share this broadcast, because look, there's over 700,000 new cases each year being diagnosed. And we need to make sure that we have something consistent and in this kidney community, that other warriors who start this path or journey, they have something to latch on to show them the way. Because there's more than one way to skin a cat. I know there's other organizations out there, but there's no media network dedicated and giving you live broadcasts of kidney warriors who went through the same thing you're going through, but decided to do something about it and turn it around. And that's why we had this show tonight with author Tay Veazey. So let me bring him on and let him share his story and how he came from being diagnosed at 12 years old to becoming a transplant recipient, participating in Transplant Games of America, and now an established author. So without further ado, I'd like to bring on Tay Veazey and give him the special VIP treatment. Welcome. Uh-oh. My video ain't going. Jared, where you at? Nah, hold on. Went to the wrong one. Here we go. Hey, hey, what's going on, Tay?
Hey, I was loving that intro.
Oh yeah, hey, look, you got to thank Jared A. Brown, because he's the director of graphics and all that, man. So he came up with that. So thanks to Jared Brown. What's going on, Sabrina? How you doing, babe? Hope everything's going well in Georgia. Thanks, Dad Vice. He popped in.
Yeah.
But hey, Davin, how you doing? But Tay, man, you've been on our show before. A lot of people may not know that you was on maybe about a year and a half ago.
Yes, it was probably about a year and a half ago when I first got on the show with you and Tamika.
Man, that's crazy. And I want to tell you, I've seen a lot of accomplishments, man, that you have done up until this book. I mean, you did stage plays, you do different
Yeah.
characters. You worked out, build up some muscle mass.
I did little song.
I mean, man, you just kind of like, regardless of the pandemic, it just seemed like 2019 up until this point was your year, bruh.
Right, and it's so crazy. Like, as much mess that's going on in the world right now with COVID-19, she has stopped a lot of stuff. But I tried to make it my business to not let that affect my growth and to continue to push forward in any way that I possibly can. Because, like you mentioned, all of the accomplishments I've done. Thank you so much. And it just
Oh, absolutely.
it stems from that mantra that I have, and which is my mantra is to be be that person I wish I had when I was younger. And I didn't have that person who looked like me, who was black and young, who looked
Sure.
like me, doing different things that they love, no matter what it was, and didn't not let anything stop them. So every chance I get, if I want to try something new, I love challenges. So if I can try something new, or to break a barrier, or to lead by example by showing people that even though I had kidney disease or I had a kidney transplant, that does not mean I can't do certain things. So
Right.
when I tell people that I had a kidney transplant, they were like, "What?" Because it's a lot of things that they say that we can't do.
Right,
So,
right.
so I
In
just want to get
fact,
it on to change
right.
that.
In fact, I mean, we have another kidney warrior that I got to bring on. Her name is Phyllis Phyllis Pinketto. She was on our show once before. She had a transplant, and
All
she
right.
wrote a book, Chosen to Triumph.
All
Now, I
right.
mean, I'm sure there's a lot of warriors out there that have written books on their experience.
Mhm.
Before we get into your story, what makes your book unique? Becoming a living testimony.
Well, for me, it is, I look at it as the pages of my personal diary or my personal journal. And I noticed in the beginning, you said I was diagnosed at 12. I was actually diagnosed at 3. But
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
go on dialysis until a month before I turned 14. So about 13 when I went on dialysis. But like I said,
Wow.
what makes the book so unique is literally like my my personal diary, and I literally walk you through the process of what was life like for me before I was diagnosed, um, what was like for me in my childhood, and when I was diagnosed and when I went on dialysis, what was I feeling? How was I going through this complete change? Talking to my dietitian on taking on certain things that I can eat, the things I can't eat, the type of pills I'll be taking, and I'll take you all the way through to the kidney transplant day, that morning, all of that, and even up to now. I'm now at the age of 30, and I update you guys on where I am now. So literally my life from birth up to now, 30, you get my inside story, what a lot of people don't know. You get all my feelings, all of my emotions, all the things that I experience, and everything right on the pages. So my thing is, I wanted to, how I wrote it, I want the readers to be able to visualize being right there with me as I walk on my path through the storms.
Right. And I also forgot to mention we have author and show host Lisa Baxter watching. She's
All
written
right.
several books as well. And so I say that to say we have a lot of warriors out there that may have written their journey, but we don't have a now we do, but
Mhm.
there's like no platform so we can get that out to the thousands of people
Mhm.
who deal with this disease on a daily basis, Tay. So that's another reason why we created Urban Kidney Alliance so we can give warriors who went through this process and who have written
Right.
about it, who has a great testimony to encourage other people that even though you get diagnosed with this disease, it's not the end of the world.
Exactly. And I appreciate you guys for creating this amazing outlet and amazing network, because this wasn't here when I was 13. And that's why I am the way I am now, because I didn't have no one to look up to. I didn't have no type of outlet or anything. I didn't get the type of support and the outlet until after I got my transplant, which I got my transplant at 15. So I didn't start getting that outlet or finding people or support groups until then. But this right here is what y'all got. Top of the line, first of all.
Thank you, man.
Y'all, this show and all of the different shows you guys have on this network, a blessing. And I'm just honored to be a part of it, to share my story, to be another one of the warriors, to try to prove and
Thank
show
you,
people
man.
that no matter what, you can
And
get
we
through it and be the best you can.
and we would like to have you back multiple times. You got a
You know
testimony to share.
it.
But that's what it's all about: trying to create a community that can
Yeah.
support itself and the people that kidney disease affect in the community. And so we just need for people to share and get it out there. I mean, I
Right.
know there's other broadcasts and other webinars that goes on, but
Hmm.
that's how we learn, by sharing. I don't think no person or platform is better than any other, long as that information gets out there to the
Right,
people who need the information, so they don't have to bear the burden or just go through a lot of things that maybe you, as a veteran kidney warrior, went
right.
through. I mean, being diagnosed at 3 and starting at 12. Share your story, man. How does it begin?
Man, so it all began, like I said, I was diagnosed at 3. My mom, which I'm actually at my mom's house right now. She's in the
Wait
back.
a minute.
She's in the
Is your
back.
mom around? Because I know your mom plays a significant part in your life.
She's
In
right
fact,
in the back.
I thought maybe at one time she was your manager, but I know. And I forgot to mention you working on a rap song as well, because I seen you spit some verses in the studio.
Now, okay, Steve.
Yeah, you posted it. I seen
Yeah,
it, man.
yes,
That's awesome because you're
I
staying busy.
do. Right, and it's like I'm all about creativity and I'm all about art. It's the first 3 letters of my name, if you haven't realized. But I'm all about art and trying new things and exploring and trying stuff that makes me happy. And but I actually finished the song, and it was an actual mixtape. So I did a
Wow.
mixtape in honor of my best friend who passed,
Oh,
and
my condolence.
yeah, thank you. And I did it in his remembrance to kind of keep his legacy going, because the name of the mixtape was called Legacy, and it was his mixtape. So he didn't finish it. So as his brother,
Mm.
I decided to, get the songs that he's finished and add a couple songs that I did, and just put our visions together and put it out like that. And I did that on July 31st is when it came out.
Oh,
It
congratulations.
was it was nice, yeah. But I might can get my mom to step in, because she in the back, she be camera shy.
Oh, okay, okay. But you said your story started at 3 years old. I
Yeah,
mean,
so yeah, it started at 3. So I was diagnosed at 3. It was hereditary from my mom, who is also a kidney transplant recipient as well. I think she had hers 21 years. She's had her transplant for 21 years now, and I just surpassed 15 years.
wow.
So it started at 3, and you also see it in the book as well. I'm trying not to give it all away. But during the time of me being 3, I had, of course, going back and forth to the hospital and doctor visits to make sure everything was okay. But it was a slow process of the disease growing or it getting out of hand. So the doctors were able to monitor it year by year or every 6 months or however often I went to the doctor. And it was suppressed until I was right at 13, where I was about to turn 14. That's when I got the call that I had to go on dialysis because the disease has gotten to a point where it was messing with my health and my kidney function, and it was time for me to go on dialysis.
Right. Hey, Tay, we're going to get you on the Shonda Larimore show as well.
All right, just call a
Transplant
player.
talk.
I'm
We got
coming.
to make the scenes around. We got to be like the talk show host.
I just
No,
be bouncing in and out every week. Here I am once again.
right. But Tay, when you got that call that you had to go on dialysis, what went through your mind? Were you scared, nervous, apprehensive? Tell us
So,
what went through your mind at that time.
man, oh my God. Like because I didn't get the call, my mom got the call, and we was actually in the car just coming in from, she was just picking me up from school. I was in middle school, that's right around the corner from here still. And I go in a lot of detail in the book. You'll witness all of that. But um it was so crazy because I was in the back seat and I can, how what I call like the important voice, where somebody when they talking on the phone and then they get all proper.
Right. You get kind of quiet.
Yes, my mama did one of them, so that's how I knew something was serious. Like when you call and like, hello, this is him. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. One of them calls, and it was real short. And then when after she got off the phone, I noticed like I can see from the mirror, like in the back, so you can see the mirror and see the person that's driving. And I saw like tears running down her face, and I was like, "Oh Lord, what's going on?" And then she turned around and told me that the doctors had called and said I had to go on dialysis because my kidneys was failing. And when she said that, it's like the world stopped because it's like everything was like flashing before my eyes because I didn't know what to expect. Even though she was on dialysis, I haven't experienced that before. All
Wait a
I
minute.
know is,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I may have missed something,
uh huh,
but something just triggered my mind when you were on the Warriors Quest. Did you say your mom was on dialysis?
yes, yeah. My mom was on dialysis as well. Hmm.
Wow. So
Yeah.
was she on the same time you started? Or
No, I want to say probably when I was about 3 or 4. If I'm remembering correctly, she was still on dialysis then. But
wow.
yeah, but later on, of course, she was off well into my memories of stuff like that.
And
But
she
I do
got a
remember coming
transplant.
in. Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
she had a deceased donor from Portland. Hmm.
I would
Yeah,
love to
so,
have your mom on the show because I would
yeah,
want to know how did she feel where I mean, of course she was unhappy because you saw the tears streaming down from her eyes
right.
when she got notified, but wow.
Yeah, so I can only imagine her biggest fear is her son. She over here in the corner. Her son
Come on, Mama Beezy.
being diagnosed with the same thing she went through. So I
Right.
guess I can only imagine that feeling for a parent. Because I know for me, that's one of my biggest things when it comes to having children and all this stuff is my fear of transferring this or passing this on to them. I wouldn't even be able to fathom like what will I do. I mean, of course, I'll be able to, coach them through just like she coached me through the different stages and what to expect and how to feel and all of that stuff. But as far as being there to comfort them in their pain, I can't physically, as parents, we won't be able to do that. All we can do is, this is gonna be okay, get you some pain meds and this, that. But back to that day when she looked back at me and told me that I had to go on dialysis, it's like was a complete shock. Like, well, it wasn't a shock, but like the world stopped because I was thinking about, okay, so how will my life change now? because she's reminded me many times on how you will not be the same after this. Like, I don't know if other warriors out there or other people who are on dialysis thinking back to before they was even diagnosed or before they got the call and to go to be where they are now. Life is not will not be the same, and that's not to scare you or that's not to downplay anything, but it's just the fact of, for me, as a living testimony now, my life changed for the better. And a lot
Mhm.
of people look at kidney disease as it's just such a curse, or it's such a bad thing, and it's such a, hindrance to your life. But I'm here to tell you today that kidney disease blessed my life. And the reason I say that is because if I haven't gone through what I went through, I wouldn't be the person I am today. And
Wow.
I'm completely thankful and grateful for going through that, because now I can be strong for somebody else.
Now,
Because
Tay,
Mhm.
Dad Vice James Fabian wants to know: did you already have your access before you started? Did they know that day was going to come for you to be on dialysis, or when you was
So
told you had to go on dialysis, that's when you got your access created or had the catheter put in?
yes, after they told me I had to go on dialysis, that's when I got the access. But of
Hmm.
course, I remember my mom telling me younger that the doctors just said we're not going to panic about him going on dialysis right now because it's still in the early stages. So we're just going to monitor and watch as he get older and just kind of see when. And when it gets to a point where we have to put him on dialysis, then we will let you know. Luckily, it lasted up till I was 13 from the age of
Right.
6.
Did they
So
give you medication to prevent protein spillage or try to uh, slow the progression with
now that
dietary measures?
I do not remember being on any type of medication before going to dialysis. And as far as like diets, my mom, due to my mom already being a recipient, so she rarely fried anything. She baked everything. And when I say everything, everything.
Right.
That's why I am how I am now. I bake everything. I don't even I'm not gonna say I don't eat fried chicken, but I don't buy fried chicken. So if I'm at somebody's house and they cooking fried chicken, or they buy it, trust and believe, I'm gonna give me about a thigh or wing or leg or something. But
Right.
I don't cook fried things like at all. Everything's baked, and of course, you stay on your water. If you don't remember nothing else, drink plenty of water.
Right. Now, I want to ask you a question, but before that, I want to put Manny's question up. He wanted to know, how long did it take you to write your book, and what was your process from start to finish?
Man, Manny, look. Okay. Now, like I said, this was like my diary or my journal. So from the beginning of time, I used to always love writing. And back then I didn't really I've had people to vent to, but you know how it's something that you just be nervous to like talk to other people about. So I had my good old handy dandy journal, and dear diary, today, the date, and then you just kind of go on what you went through, what you feel like, and you say a little prayer, because I do a lot of praying, and people who get the book would know I'm a praying brother. Okay. um and so I was writing the whole time. So I want to say it literally took me about 12 years to, no, 15 years to get the book out. So I had told myself I will wait until about my 10-year anniversary. By that time, I was like, I feel like I done learned enough stuff to, say I know a little something to help somebody. I didn't want to be just 1, 2 years into a transplant and come out with a book and be like, hey, I got a book talking about my journey. You ain't been out long enough, brother. So that was been 15
Right.
years. Oh, I think I know a little something. So I purposely waited 10 years, but after that 10 years, life happened and I was in school and a lot of different things was going on, and it fell on the back burner. But I did keep my journal. And I want to say about 2 years ago, that's when I have a good friend, the Pharaoh 69, who also wrote the forward for my book. Um, he came along and he kind of inspired me and kind of gave me that push that I need to kind of get back into it, because I have a horrible habit of being a self-diagnosed stubborn perfectionist. And people who know me know, if it ain't right, if it ain't tip top shape, Tay ain't gonna put it out. Mm-mm. And my best friend, before he passed, used to always tell me, don't promote nothing before it is out. Because I was promoting the book in 2016, that it was coming out in 2016, and it did not. And it was the thing of so anxious and so excited to let people know about what you got going on. But trust me when I say, wait until you are done before you promote it. Because if you pre-plan or pre-promote something and it's not ready, you're gonna fall on your face. But it took about 15 years in total, 12 years to write, in those last 2.5 years to finish up the last few chapters and kind of figure out how I wanted to tell it and get everything ready.
Oh man, that's awesome. So that's something that you got, like you said, it's like a diary over years that
Oh, yeah,
you've been on dialysis. So I mean, and one can still do that. They don't have to write a diary. I mean, you can
right,
just set up an outline and try
exactly.
to go back and look at your life.
Right. It's all
And
about how you want to do it, what's comfortable for you. And for me, I try to and with everything I do, I try to be as authentic, as unapologetic and truthful as I possibly can with everything that I do. Because
hmm
if it's not the truth, you ain't gonna see it coming from me. And I wanted to be able to share this specific journey. It will be a book too, but that's another part of my journey. And but for this one, which was my kidney journey specifically, I wanted to be able to connect personally with my supporters and with the people who read the book, because I want them to know, one, what I went through, two, what it's like being young and black on dialysis as a teenager, the different mood swings and all the different side effects and everything I went through, the day to day life of me and going through high school. And I wanted to also be able to share tips where people who don't know nothing about dialysis can pick up some of those terms and kind of get an understanding on what it's like for us who are going through, dialysis.
wow, wow. Thank you, man, for sharing that for
Okay.
for Manny. Now, let me ask you, how that now can you hold up your book for a moment? Now, is that look like that that clinic? I can see the piping on the wall.
Mhm.
Was that a small unit?
This was actually at a camp. It was a kidney camp called Camp Okawina. And I'm
What was that,
so
like five or six stations?
no, it was probably about eight, about four on each side. It was two sides, so it's probably about
Okay,
eight stations. So it was like I said, it was at a kidney camp called Camp Okawina up in Nashville, close to Nashville. And when I say that place opened my eyes to a lot of different things, because I went through a lot of image problem as far as self-esteem and all
I'm
of that. 'Cause I'm
sure.
I'm already a skinny guy. That's why you don't see me too ashamed now to have a shirt off, because I'm loving what I'm seeing or what has
Right, right.
become of it. Because I used to have a lot of like self-esteem issues, because I'm already a small guy. I graduated high school at 88 pounds. So I
Wow.
was small and still is a little small. I'm in the 120s now. So I'm getting there. But Yeah, I was just I was literally a stick, tall
Right
than
now,
life.
when you wasn't at camp, where
Uh-huh.
did you dialyze at? At an
Uh,
outpatient unit or at home?
no, I was at the Children's Hospital, La Bonheur.
Oh, okay, okay,
Mhm.
great, great.
Yeah, amazing facility. Such amazing people.
Now let me ask you, did you know about Gary Coleman when you was a kid?
No, I think I didn't find out about Gary. I want to say it was probably about 15, 16 when
Hmm.
I learned about Gary Coleman. But that was on the way I found him was on he was on the Parkers. I don't know if y'all remember the Parkers with Monique.
Yeah, I remember the
Yeah,
Parkers.
he came on the show there, and that's how I found out about Gary Coleman because they did like a whole little segment with him. It's time for Gary, Gary. And
Right, right.
I remember that.
Now, is that the first person you seen for as child, maybe VIP that dealt with this disease?
Now I'm just now knowing that he was. I didn't know he had the disease.
Really?
Uh-huh. I didn't know. I didn't know any black people. And like I tell people all the time, when I was looking for like inspiration or somebody to look up to, I only saw like old white people. And like I said, no offense to anybody, it's just I didn't see anybody that looked like me. I didn't see
Wow.
anybody black. I didn't see anybody young. It was always like real old white people that was like in their 60s and up, because I was like, as I went through the process, I was like, okay, I guess because us black people is good at hiding some secrets when it comes to
Right.
some things. So I was like, maybe they just wasn't comfortable at sharing that part of themselves, and I made that promise where I shared in a book of a big promise I made in the book to God, and that's the reason why the book is out now.
Right.
'Cause if I
Right.
didn't make the promise, I don't know if it'll be out. But in the book, and to kind of have the question on why did I write the book or all of that, I made a promise to God that uh because I heard that people be on dialysis like 10 plus years. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm just 13. 10 years. That'll be 23. No, I can't do this. I can't do this. And at that time, it was a young lady named Jessica. I can't remember her name, and she's passed on now. But she was definitely a highlight of my journey while on dialysis because she was on dialysis for 10 plus years. And it scared me because I was like, ain't no way in Jesus' name that I'm going to be on this thing for 10 years. Like, I'm trying to do some stuff with my life, as you can see me now. I'm trying to
Right.
do
Right.
some stuff. So I had to, and like I tell people, when I pray to God, I talk to Him just like anybody else. Okay, look, player, look. I'm gonna have to holler at you. I'm gonna have to holler at you, player. Okay, look, Lord. Okay. Now I'm hearing that I'm gonna be on that people be on this thing up to about 10 years and some even longer. Now I know I'm new to this, but I can't be on here 10 years. I can't do it. I'm trying to do some stuff. I'm about to get ready and go to high school, and you tell me I'm gonna be on this till I'm 23 or longer? Okay, look, let's make a deal. Can we make a deal? Tom, please. So I said, okay, look, if you can get me through this, I promise you I would do everything in my power. And it's my right hand. uh to share my story and to whatever part of my story or my journey that I could use to inspire somebody else. I would do it. I promise you, I would do it. And ever since then, and you will see more detailed in the book on how I go through life and I get the transplant and all of that stuff. And literally about 2 months after I said that prayer, I got a transplant. And it
Wow.
was, and I was like, okay, he listening. Okay. So I was so in the moment of, you get your new transplant and you just putting on top of what you getting some of your life back. And you don't have to necessarily go to and get treatment. You just go get your checkups every so often, and that's fine. And so as time go on, I forgot about the promise. So I'm just living life. Now I done went through school, I done went through high school, now I'm in college and got accepted in the art school. So I'm getting into my art, but I forgot about the promise. So God he is slick, and he know he have a way of doing things. So what he did to me, when he see that we're not being obedient, he get our attention. And a lot of times what I've learned through the years, and sometimes God will isolate you and back
Mm-hmm.
you up in the corner until he got your attention, or put you somewhere where there's nobody but just you. So what he did to me, he allowed me to dehydrate. So I had to go in the hospital for dehydration. Now I'm in the hospital, I'm in the room by myself. So I'm like, oh, why you send me back here? I was doing good, man. Everything was going fine. I got to seeing my doctor now once every 6 months at that time, and I was doing good. So tell me why. Right before I got checked out of that, I was at Methodist at this time. So at this time, no, I was still at, yeah, I was at Methodist. And at this time, right before I got discharged, it was a note at the foot of the bed, was like on the wall, and it was like kidney support group. And I was like, okay, I was supposed to help people. That's right. That's right. So since then
Okay.
I went to the support group, and it was amazing. I got to sit at the
Awesome.
table, and I got to share my story alongside other recipients. There was a lung, there was a pancreas, there was a double kidney, and a lot of different other recipients who was talking to patients about their journeys and everything. And it was great. So I was on that for a little bit and everything, and then I fell off once again. And as time went on, he got me again, diagnosed me with another piece of dehydration, and I was back. And then I was like, Lord, what you doing, man? You messing me
Mm-hmm.
up. And he once again reminded me. And it just kept coming. Every time I fell off, it was another reminder. Or I see something in a magazine, or I see something on TV. They always reference being a helping hand to somebody, sharing your story, or for me writing a book, I started and then I stopped. So it was always a repetitive, thing. When I fell off, he reminded me.
Mm-hmm.
So my biggest thing is I finally finished it. It took me about 15 years, but I got
And
it.
let me ask you, um, Jonathan already put up a link, but I don't think anybody can do that. But where can you get your book at?
First of all, thank you, Jonathan. And congrats again on you just got your kidney transplant. It was nice talking to you last week on Jared's show. So right now the book is available online at Barnes and Noble, Target, Walmart, Amazon, and Books a Million that I know of right
Wow.
now. So you can easily just Google search Artavius VZ book, and a lot of different links of where you can buy online will come up. But I know those five places are the main places that people basically shop at.
Oh,
So
that's awesome. Dad Vice wanted to know, how did being so young on dialysis impact your social life?
woo, when I tell you no social life at all, because keep in mind when I was on dialysis, I was a teenager, so I was 14. So a month before I turned 15, the month before I turned 14. So I was from 13 to 15. So about 18 months I was on dialysis, and my social life was little to none because I was at the hospital 3 days a week for treatment for 3 hours. And of course, for those who experience dialysis, know you be tired, you be weak, you don't want to talk to nobody, go through mood swings. 'Cause I went through a lot of them. and just didn't want to be bothered because you're trying to rest, and then on top of that, trying to stay up on schoolwork and trying to socialize with your friends, but you don't want to tell your friends that you got this because they gonna think you weird or it's contagious. Yeah, I went through all of that. So luckily and thankfully, it was just 18 months. And after that, I was able to go back and finish my high school career and graduate with my class. And in the
So
beginning,
you
a
was
lot of
on
my friends
dialysis
still didn't.
15 months?
18 months.
Oh, just 18
Yeah.
months.
Yes, it's 18 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it don't seem long, but trust me, I counted every one of them days. I was
So
going.
tell us the day you got that call. Can you just take us back how just that day how it was set up with where you was at, what you was doing?
As far as like the call about the kidney transplant.
Yes.
Okay, so my donor was my father. So I have a
Oh,
living
okay.
donor. So that was amazing, such a blessing. And how everything kind of went about, it wasn't necessarily a call for me. So what we went through while I was on dialysis, excuse me, was my doctor, um I think she's my primary doctor. My mom's over here, my little coach. And so she was kind of letting me know that we was going to test your dad and see is he a match. And then once they tested and everything came back, she told me that he was a match. And we're trying to make sure that everything is good with him before we can get the kidney, because he's a smoker and all of that stuff. So they want to make sure that he was healthy enough to be able to bear giving me a kidney. So that's kind of how that was. It was basically just like a waiting process, basically.
Wow.
Yeah. So it wasn't as, I don't want to say it was as exciting as some people who get that call, like the kidney is here, get to the hospital, 20 minutes. For me,
Right.
it was like, okay, we testing him, we just gotta wait and see. So it was kind of a waiting game.
Yeah, but by you being a adolescent at the time,
Mhm.
were you anxious or like did it ever cross your mind that it's not going to happen?
Yes, because it was taking so long, and all of the stories I was hearing about people who been on the waiting list for so long. And that's one thing a lot of people don't understand about the waiting list is that thing is scary long. And just to think about how many people there was on the list, and to think that, okay, well, now I'm on the list, but where do I rank on the list? Do they put me at the top or do they put me at the very bottom? Because it's like hundreds of thousands of people on the list. And then you be like, okay, so do I wait till all of these people get their transplant before I get mine, or how does that work? But it was crazy.
Mm-hmm. Let me
Yeah.
ask you, Dad Vice, man, he coming up with some great questions.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
James.
Thank you.
He wanted to know what was the first thing you did to treat yourself after recovering from your transplant.
Oh, the first. Okay, look, it didn't even make it before I even left the hospital. Okay, so the first thing I did to reward myself, I had to have some ice cream, even though that wasn't
Wow.
a big thing. But I love ice cream. And people be telling me, so how you can eat ice cream all day but don't gain weight? Baby, I can laugh and lose 5 pounds just from laughing. But yeah, so I had some vanilla ice cream, and it was in these little bitty little tubs. If you've been in the hospital, you know the little bitty tub they give you in the hospital, in the little cups. And I had like 3 of them vanilla. Oh my God, it was so good. And then while I was right after, I want to say the next day or the next 2 days, my mama made me get out of bed because I just wanted to lay there. She was like, "You got to get up and walk around if you want to, get better and all that stuff." So I went to the cafeteria and got me some cookies. So for those who know, I love me some chocolate chip cookies. Woo! Chocolate chip cookies and some cookies and cream ice cream or vanilla. You got me. I'm coming.
That's awesome. Now
Yeah.
look, Manny, he's outdoor dashing. Man, Manny, you're a warrior.
All
He's been
right.
on dialysis. 30 years.
Oh, right. Okay.
About
Wow.
30 years, I believe. But he wanted to know. Now, look, if people wanted to join the ranks of you, Lisa Baxter, Phyllis Penn Kiddos, and writing a book,
Mm-hmm.
did you self-publish? Who edited your book? Did you edit it yourself? How did all that come about?
So I noticed a lot of authors be shady and they don't be want to tell secrets. Look, I ain't like that. First of all, I will tell you everything that I don't
Oh
want to
man,
tell
that's
you.
awesome, man.
I try to help people who need to be helped because this stuff ain't out there. But for me, I self-published my book. I went through this company called Ingram Spark. So I think it's ingramspark.com, and you can go there, and they had a little nice little plan. It's not high at all. It's very
Sure.
inexpensive, and anybody can basically do it. And they have a whole little promo plan where you can purchase, where they'll distribute your book through all of these places. Like I said, mine's was with all the different places in Barnes and Noble,
That's
Target,
awesome.
right? So they handle all of that. So basically, all I had to do was just write it, type it,
Get on
get
the manuscript.
right. And of course, the biggest thing for me is I had to get an editor. Luckily, I had a good friend who did it for me, and he formatted it for me because formatting is very important. So you want to make sure you get the right person to edit and format your book. But one thing I would say, and what I talked with my friend about who's editing my book, I do not want you to change my voice because that is very important. Because when people read my book and they know how I talk, they know how I write. When it comes to writing my posts on Facebook or social media, you know how I write. So if you get a book that's supposed to be written by me and it don't sound like me, you ain't gonna believe it. So you can edit my book, but don't change my voice because it's not gonna be, authentic. People be like, wait, he got a ghostwriter. This don't even sound like something he'll say. So we went back and forth with it in certain terms that he'll say. I'm like, no, I wouldn't say nothing like that. Let me change that. But it's all about keeping your voice, of course. But that's basically what I did. I went to Ingram Spark, and of course you have to get your barcode that's on the back.
Right, the ISBN.
Yes, yes. I think when I got mine, they was having a special or something. You get 10 of them for like $100. So it's good to have these. Don't just buy one, buy more than one because you're gonna want to come out with an ebook, and you might want to have a book two or book three or whatever. It's always best to have more than one because you can buy one almost the same price as buying 10. So do yourself a
No,
service.
absolutely. And you know, the thing is, there needs to be more authors.
Yes.
Um,
Everybody have a story. Like
yes, there need
one
to be
thing,
more authors because again, each year more than 700,000 people are
mm,
being diagnosed. And where are they going to get the information to know about kidney disease, what to expect, what to
exactly.
look for? I mean, a lot of people mainly hear from other people
Right.
or come on Facebook and in a group and they may hear something. But like you said earlier, Tay, everybody has their own story. So what one person may do, you may not can do for
Right.
you. You
Right.
can try it, but everything doesn't work for everyone.
Exactly. And that's why I was blessed to have my mom to have been through it to kind of give me her ropes or her routines of how she done things. Now, it was something that she done that I still do today, or something that she did that I don't do because it just didn't work for my lifestyle, or it didn't work for, how I work. And another thing when it comes to like getting certain type of information, some people when I was researching different people who wrote kidney books or telling their journey, they use all these big words that the average person can't understand, and that's what encouraged me. Let me not I'm gonna give you some big words, but I'm gonna break it down to what I like to call the lowest common denominator. I'm gonna break it down to quote unquote dummy terms, so anybody can read it and understand, have an understanding or somewhat of an understanding on what it's, what it's about. Because I didn't want to confuse nobody. I want to be able to, like I said, encourage those who are affected and educate, well, encourage those who are on, dialysis, and educate those who are not, because everybody knows somebody that has been affected by kidney disease or on dialysis. So it's best, the more information we can get out and the more stories that we can share on how we're overcoming this thing, the more positive and the more inspiration and upliftment other people will have, and not be so starstruck and so shook by kidney disease, because it's all about how you look at it. And I preach this every day. Just, I had kidney disease. Kidney disease didn't have me. So it's all
Right.
about how you look at it. Yes, I couldn't at that time. It was certain things that I can't do. Like, we can do everything, but to normal people, they may can go from A to Z in one jump. We have to go through A, B, C, D, E. Go through, but eventually we will get there. It may take us a little longer to get there, but you know what? That's okay. If you want it long enough or you want it bad enough, you will do it. It took me 15 years to get to where I am today. And I'm just beginning. This is only the beginning. Like, I plan on doing multiple things and going into different hospitals and sitting with other patients at their bedsides and talking on stages and doing more great shows like these to share my story, to at least hope to touch one person. Because that's always
Hmm.
been the goal, to inspire one person. If I can just help one, I've done my part.
Yeah, hopefully, man, that COVID would subside so you can get into
Messing
those
everything.
places and we can resume, you know, in person
Yeah.
um, education and
Mhm.
socialization and still maintain a safe social distancing
Right. Right.
without affecting anyone. And it almost seemed like, hey, Pat, thanks for joining. It almost seems like that's where we're heading, to the Zoom era,
Yeah. Yeah.
virtual broadcast. And that's okay. But at the same time, I think in person,
Yeah. It's nothing like in person.
social, right. And so I just hope that we can resume some type of system like it was. I know it's not going to be the same. Those days are over with.
Right.
I already know it.
Hmm.
But at least we could do something to try to keep a piece of that history
Right.
going. Uh, Jonathan said we need a big movie production regarding a kidney warrior story. I mean, that
Can
would be
we get
great,
a movie
Jonathan.
about a kidney story? Oh my God, that would be great. That
I
would be
mean, that would. I mean, that would be great to maybe do a story on, because there's so many things that can affect the kidneys. It's not just diabetes and
right.
hypertension. Now,
Right.
what was your diagnosis? Was it FSGS?
That I don't know. Mom, do you remember my diagnosis? Was it FFGS? Because I just know it was hereditary from her.
Polycystic?
So what? Nephritis.
Oh, nephritis.
Yeah. Yeah. Nephritis.
Okay, yeah, that's crazy because I experienced that as well back in uh 2001,
Mm-hmm.
2002. I
Okay.
had like 3 grams of protein spilling
My God.
from my in my urine, right? And that's why I see a
Yeah.
kidney specialist to this day. Um,
Mhm.
and it wasn't from high blood pressure or anything like this. This was from some unknown viral infection
Okay.
that I don't know where it came from. I mean, it came through me and ravaged
Mm.
my system, had me spilling 3 grams of protein, messed up my liver enzymes.
Mm.
But you know what? God is good,
Oh yeah, all
because
the time.
even though I was spilling 3 grams of protein and all that, my BUN or my creatinine never like shot up
Yeah.
or any of that. I just went through this process. I kept seeing the kidney specialist until the protein cleared up. And even to this day, I still see a kidney specialist. His name is Dr. Choi. He's in Baltimore. Damn good
Uh-huh.
kidney doctor. I'm not going to lie. I've been seeing him for the last like 10, 12, maybe 13 years.
Right.
And he's been taking care of me. My GFR is great.
Good.
But I say that to say that it's so many different diseases or
Mhm.
conditions that can cause the kidneys that fail, especially as a child, that a movie or production like Jonathan mentioned definitely needs to share their story, how they overcame the youth, and then
Right.
maybe in the uh, adolescent stage they got hit. Now they had to do that process of kidney dialysis and go through the adolescence, and now as an adult they're able to experience life with a kidney with a donated kidney. I mean, there's
Right.
so many different stories
Right.
how
I think
people.
it definitely would have to. I think I would appreciate it. Like on the outside looking in, I would appreciate it if it was from multiple perspectives. Like I don't think it just focus on just one type
Right.
of person. Like it need to be somebody that's having peritoneal dialysis, hemodialysis, someone that needed a kidney, a heart, lungs, to give different perspectives of it to show the whole thing of transplantation and how that affects the person. Because I think
Mm-hmm.
there should definitely be multiple perspectives than just kidney.
Yeah, we need to maybe collaborate on something. I got a camera. Where my camera at? Oh, it's in the back. But no, I got a movie camera. Hey, man, because listen, I know it's Tyler Perry out there, but anyone, if you put your mind to it,
I'm telling
anyone can do a movie, do
you.
a production, write a book. It's just
Mhm.
how serious you're
Right.
willing to
How,
go, how committed are you willing to hang in the pocket when
right.
through the bad times and the good times and
Oh
still
yeah.
stay committed on that project.
Yes. How bad you want it? Because like I said, it took me 15 years to write my book. But now, like, it's not gonna take me that long now because what I've learned, and to even give more insight on those who will write their books or wanted to write a book, do not edit as you write. Don't do it. Just write.
Yeah,
Don't
that's
worry
what they
about.
say.
Just write. Finish it first, and don't finish a chapter. Don't okay, let me edit this chapter. That's why it took me so long. Just write the whole book. The
That's what
whole
I'm
thing. Get
doing.
it all out. Don't even worry about making an outline. Well, you might want to make an outline to kind of know what you want to talk about,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
just write, just get it all out, get everything out. And then once you got it all out, and then you look at your outline and then figure out, okay, so how do I want to translate this story, or what do I want to keep? What do I want to add? Because there's been a lot of stuff that I've taken out that didn't necessarily makes sense for this book. Like it's a lot of different things I went through, but for the book, I specifically wanted to focus on my journey as far as people walking with me through the days and what was my day like and how was I feeling versus telling them, okay, well, these are the numbers for this and here's how I got here. This is no, I want you to be able to feel me hurting. I want you to feel my excitement, feel my scarcity, and all of that stuff. And when I'm riding in that wheelchair down the hallway to the first treatment of dialysis, all of that, I want you to be able to feel my pains, and you can be able to connect with it because that's what we go through. At least that's what I went through. And
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I wanted. So please do not edit as you write. Write it out first, and then you edit it. You'll be so much happier and less stressed.
Wow.
You'll have more hair than I do because I done lost a couple of pieces of hair. But we here.
Right. You got Audrey, host of Sisters Against Kidney Disease, Kidney Warrior, 15-year
Yes. All right.
transplant
Woo, woo,
recipient.
woo.
She's talking about she about to start working on hers. I have so many journals. So
Yes.
yeah, we got to do this to let the world know what's going
Yes.
on. Dad Vice says, "How are your labs currently, and is there any fear of kidney failure again?"
Now everything is good. I've been going back and forth with Prograph. So it's like sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. So we've been trying to find a balance with my medication on Prograph. And but now these past 3 months, everything has been, leveled and everything's good. So other than that, that's about it. I go see my doctor once a year and I see my primary doctor like once every 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I get my labs every 3 months. Every 3 months, I get my labs, and if they see anything that needs to be questioned, they'll call me and let me know, and we'll go from there. But so far, everything has been good. Now that we got the program and everything
Oh, that's
situated.
awesome, man. That's awesome. Um, yeah, Jonathan, I'm working on a documentary myself, so a documentary is a good idea, and I'm working
Oh
on a
yeah,
book,
yes.
but
I
for the
can't wait for your
documentary,
book.
Urban Crisis, but the book, I'm gonna keep that under wraps for a moment. But
There you
I'm putting in, I'm grinding. Just trust me that I'm
go.
grinding, and hopefully within 30 to 60 days, I should have it out. I mean, I'm writing day and night. Even
Yeah,
after the show is over, I'm going to go back to writing and then go to the gym. I mean,
right,
that's how committed I am because I believe the book that I'm writing needs to get out there for all kidney warriors.
right.
So,
And I would say, don't rush it. It will, in due time, it will be ready. Don't rush it because if you rush it, you're gonna think of something at the last minute that you wish you would have added, and
mm-hmm.
you can't. So I would say, don't rush it. Plan your outline.
Oh,
Um,
I got all that. That's what
right,
I'm saying. I
right.
got all the research and everything
Okay, good. Yeah,
mustered together. It's just
just
getting it
getting
out
it
there
right.
and
Yeah.
then retyping it. That's going
Oh,
to be the
I had to have somebody help me type because look, all them pages. I had my little sister writing. I had one of my good friends who was my roommate at the time. He can type real fast. So I'm like, yeah, since you can type so fast, type this for me. So he literally typed. My sister typed the first 3 chapters, and my roommate, a good friend at the time, he typed the rest of the book within that same day. Thank you, cause
wow.
mm-mm.
Yeah. I want to be carrying my laptop around everywhere. But yeah, so I mean, we've been on here an hour. We could probably be on here for another hour and a half.
I
But let me
know.
ask you. So let's answer some of these questions. So Audrey want to know how many pages is your book.
Um, I can tell you off the top. Let me pull it open and see. A
This is
hundred,
Tate, Bella.
172.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's not that thick. Yeah, and I do have, us black people, we like pictures, so I got pictures in the book. Like this is one
Right.
of them that's on the cover, and
Let me see.
I talk about it. Well, I just changed it, but this was one of the hallways in the hospital.
Wow.
So it's each
Wow. That
chapter.
looks scary, man.
Exactly. So you feel it? So I want
Yeah,
you to
hey
be able
man,
to,
I would want to walk down that hallway, man. As a kid,
and I wasn't even
that would
walking.
look like some scary stuff.
Exactly. I was riding in a wheelchair. I was like, and it was
Wow,
this
wow, that
chapter,
was a powerful picture, bro.
yeah, chapter 7, the devil thought he had me. And this was one of my, oh my
Oh,
God,
mm,
it was
is that a
a,
teardrop?
yes, it was a journey. When I tell you, I get
Wow.
very raw and it's crazy. Like I would even share one
Wow,
day,
man.
like
Wow. Some
when
riveting pictures.
when I told you that I went through
Share this broadcast, y'all.
when I was when I had
Come on
to go
now.
back into dialysis for I mean not dialysis to go back into the hospital because I dehydrated. This was that day. Like it was crazy
Wow,
on
man.
the experiences because it's like you get everything as far as what I was feeling from what I was thinking and the prayers and the self-talk and everything. Because I tell people I was mainly raised by my grandmother in the beginning, and she was like my rock to kind of guide me through everything. She got me in on my prayer life and
Oh man, look at
about
grandma.
praying.
All
I
right.
know grandma just fine.
Right, right.
So it's definitely it was a journey, and I take you guys through every piece. Like I'm literally holding your hand, and you walking right with me through
Now,
every piece.
James said those photos are so artistic. Did your mom take those pictures?
No, I took those pictures for the most part. A lot of them was on my phone. You know, all of us have a good old
Right.
Apple, and a lot of them was from over the years, and that I
Okay, so
was
you
able
just
to
went through.
accumulate. Right, because people who know me know I take pictures on a daily. I
Right.
document everything. Like I listen to entrepreneur Gary Vaynerchuk or Gary V,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I
and
know Gary
yeah,
V.
yeah, and I was going through the thing of building my brand and trying to figure out my voice and how I want to do it. He said instead of being so hard on yourself and trying to come up with content, the best thing you can do is just document. Just document it and just show people your process. And that's what I've been doing
I
since the
remember
beginning.
that. And
Is
I think that's why I do what I do with
yeah,
document man, wow.
it helps, and it definitely helped with this because I was able to go back 10 plus years and getting pictures for when I was, oh my God, young baby, like going back. And this one,
Wow. Let's
um,
see that.
right. So I got this was one of my favorite baby pictures, by the way. And
Oh man, I can
so,
imagine you being hit with kidney disease. Wow.
right. At this young, like it it was a journey. And I'm
Wow.
just blessed and grateful to be able to be at a point where I'm at now that I can say I've done it. And now I feel more comfortable for when my time comes when I have to leave this earth. I have something that's left behind where people can read my story and know what I went through. And I even have pictures at the back showing some different things that I've accomplished after, dialysis and after the transplant to show that you can still be whoever you want to be and follow
Hmm.
whatever dream you may have and still do it. We just have a certain journey that we have to take to get to it. But if you want it bad enough, I promise you will make it work and you will hustle and do whatever you have to do to make that happen.
Right. Let me before we close the show, a couple of things I want to ask you.
Mhm.
It's something that you haven't talked about.
Okay.
Uh but just share a little brief about your participation in the transplant games. How important was that for you?
The transplant games was a dream come true. Now, for those who know, like I said, I was going through dialysis when I was in high school, early in high school, and both my parents are athletes. My mom ran track, and my dad was a baseball player. So, being on dialysis, I couldn't be active at all. And even after transplant, they was very skeptical about me doing any type of activities because they don't want me to fall and up hurt myself or the kidney rejecting and being having type of bacteria build up, all type of stuff that the doctors say that could go wrong, just scaring you. But So when as I got older, I came across this amazing organization called the Mid South Transplant Foundation, and they was talking about going to the Olympics. And who don't want to ever go to the Olympics? I know I yes. And my thing is I love running. So I'm a runner. I got that from my mom as well. And I have these long legs, so I be, high pressure. So I found out about the Transplant Games of America, and it's basically, excuse me, it is a Olympic style games for transplanted patients or recipients. So they have stuff for recipients and donor families and stuff like that, where we get to compete and like track and field, bowling, swimming, golf, racquetball, cornhole, a lot of different games that we all come together from all around the world bi-yearly, and we compete for medals, bronze, silver, and gold. And in the 2018 games, I'm blessed to be able to say I'm now a gold medalist athlete. I'm actually a gold, silver, and
Congratulations.
thank you. I
Wow,
got
man, you done did a lot.
thank you. I got a gold medal in high jump, and it was my first time ever doing it. And so it was so much fun. So I got the gold in high jump, no, long jump. I'm sorry, long jump, and I got the other two medals in track and field as far as
Oh
high
man,
jump.
congratulations, man.
Yes,
Such an
thank
inspiration. And that's what I'm saying. Kidney disease doesn't have to be the end if you're
you.
diagnosed
Exactly.
or anything like that. Dad Vice want to know, thanks for the questions, James. I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, guys.
He wants to know, was there anything you didn't get to do because of dialysis that you regret missing?
Well, the biggest one was I didn't get to run track in high school because I always wanted to run like cross country, but I didn't get to do that because of the dialysis stuff. That
Oh,
was
and Leslie participated as well in the transplant games in Atlanta.
nice. Okay, nice. See, I went
Congratulations,
for
Leslie. Did you
uh
win any medals? But as long as you participated, that's what
right,
matters.
right, because it's not necessarily
It's not
focused
about
on
the
the
medals.
competition. It's not that. One thing that I appreciate about it is they bring all of us together to celebrate each other.
Exactly.
And that's what I love about it. And then it's such a warm and welcoming community, and everybody supporting each other, rooting each other on. And it's not a big competition like that at all. It's just being out there supporting each other, and to spread awareness about transplantation. And that's
Absolutely.
it.
Oh, that's okay, Leslie. Long as you have fun and participated. Dad Vice, he want to know, I mean, of course, as an adolescent, what kept you motivated or while you were on dialysis? Did you have like the nurses at the hospital and stuff like that?
Yeah, so the nurses, it was three women in the dialysis unit at La Barner, Miss Violet, Miss Dolores, and Miss Sherry. And I wrote
Oh
a
man, you remember their name.
yes, I could, you come across those people who you feel like are like guardian angels, and they stay with you. And I will never
Oh
forget what
yeah.
they done to me or done for me and helping me. And because I went through a lot of downtime, and I went through suicide twice, and I had a lot of
Mm,
depression, and a lot of stuff that was going on with me mentally that I just couldn't fathom because I was so young. I did not know how to handle all of this stuff in my life literally changing before my eyes. Like, I could not keep up, and I did not know what my life was going. So it was just too much for me. And then to go through that and be like, okay, you're gonna get through this. And I know my mom, what I appreciate about her, she had that tough love where she'd be like, okay, look, you can go cry, but when you finish crying, come on, because we gotta go do this. And I've been able to take that with me through life. And when I inspire
mm.
people, or when I try to share my story, or when someone called me for advice, it's okay to cry, it's okay to be down, get it out. Because you don't want to hold it in. Get it out, have your moment, but don't stay there. Because I tell people all the time, if I sit in depression or I sit in negativity too long, I will fall into a deep depression and it's hard for me to get out. So I get it out, I cry, I be mad, I punch some, I would throw something, I go walking on the trails or whatever. Do whatever you have to do safely. Don't kill nobody. Be safe. And after you got all of their frustration out, then you come back, get centered with God or whoever you believe in, and you just trust and believe. Like they say, just all you need is the faith of what? The size of a mustard
Mustard
seed.
seed.
Do
Right.
y'all know how small that is? That's like almost having no faith at all. So
Right.
that little piece of faith and just believing that you're gonna get through this, that's all it takes. And I've had some nurses come at me about everybody is not going to get a transplant, so you can't be telling people that. It's not the fact of that. I think it's all a mindset. And I tell people all the time, it's about how you look at stuff. Yes, it will be sometimes where some people just they're our own dialysis for the sake of them living. And I understand that now. But at the same time, you cannot imprison yourself mentally because you're on this machine like, well, this is my life. No, what you do, you find a way to do things around your treatment. So, okay, your treatment 3 days a week, 3 hours. Okay, so when you get off, what I did is I ate and I took a nap. When I got up, I found something to do. You have to be able to plan your day. Don't just sit around and be like, oh, I'm hurting. I don't feel good today. It's going to be a lot of days where you don't feel good. Get over it. But the thing is, if you want to live a fulfilled life, you have to be disciplined within yourself. And sometimes you have
Mm.
to be hard on yourself to be like, okay, I'm gonna still do this. My head hurting. Yeah, okay. But we're gonna take this Tylenol and we're gonna keep it pushing. You have to keep going. Like I think Dr. Martin Luther King said it. If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But whatever you
Exactly.
do, keep moving.
Yeah, I know that quote very well.
You cannot sit still because when you sit still and be stagnant, you're gonna fall off. And ain't nobody got time for that because you are great. You are meant to be a blessing to somebody, and you have a purpose on this earth. So you need to go get your blessing and find out what you need to do.
Yeah, that's what Ray Alexander talks about. I mean, you got to keep pushing.
You got to. Because it's
Wow.
a lot. It's a lot. And it's so much that's going on in this world and with being on dialysis or diagnosed with kidney disease. It's a lot on you mentally. But you
Right.
have to get control of your mind, whether you meditate, whether you do whatever. For me, meditation is the best. And you find a way to get centered and get control of your thoughts and your mind so you can make the decision, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. However long it takes me, I'm gonna finish this. And for that one thing with my book, I'm gonna finish my book. Okay, I wanna be in a play. I'm gonna learn and train so I can be an actor. I wanna do art. I'm gonna go to school, get a degree so I can do this. Find that thing or things that you want to do and you do it. Set your mind to it. People gonna say people on dialysis or people with kidney disease, they don't do that. They don't go and do this. They can't do stuff like that. They don't get college degrees. That I done all of this stuff and some. Now what? So if I can do it, guess what? You can too. So stop putting that barrier in front of you saying you can't do this. Nobody in my family did this. Oh, I'm not smart enough to get this. If you want it bad enough, you'll find a way to make it happen. So you can
Awesome.
save those excuses and get it
So,
done.
so as we come to a close, man, you've been giving some inspirational words, man, and I
I just
thank
get
you
to
for taking
going.
the time. Right. But what words of encouragement can you share with the audience who may be looking for a kidney, maybe on dialysis right now, may have a parent on dialysis, or maybe dealing with kidney disease and they want to write a book or be in the transplant games or just do more than what they're doing right now and dealing with the disease? What words of encouragement can you share based on your story?
For one, the biggest thing that I had to accept over the years is we have to learn to trust ourselves more. Trust yourself because you all you have. Okay. Trust yourself that you can and you will. Remember, it's all a mindset, it's a mind thing. Kidney disease is not the end of the world. Okay. It's gonna happen. You're gonna have some good days, you're gonna have some bad days. Trust me, I had a bad day yesterday. But by the end of that day, or when I went on my break at work, I had to meditate for my 10 to 15 minutes and let myself know, okay, it's just one of them days. It's gonna be over. You're gonna be clocked out and be off that clock, and you're gonna get back to your life. But you have to trust yourself and find you a support group or people that you can vent to or that you can look up to. If you need to reach out to me, follow me on here, or you can go to octaviusvz.com and do all of that. But trust yourself, believe in yourself, knowing that this too shall pass. And if you've been told that you're going to be on the dialysis for the rest of your life, okay, that's fine. Find you something to do outside of your treatments. What makes you happy? Find that, figure that out. What makes you happy? The fastest way to finding out what makes you happy is think of if money isn't an issue. If you could do anything in the world and money wasn't an issue, what would you do? And don't say
Mm,
traveling, because everybody named mama will be traveling. Outside of traveling, if there's anything that if you can do anything that your heart desires outside of traveling, what would you do? And that is where your happiness is. Find
mm,
that, look into that, research that, find out what you have to do to get there, and you work into that. But if it's write a book, write a couple lines a day, get a journal, write a chapter a day, come up with an outline. If you want to learn how to draw, look up tutorials, figure out your rhythm and how you work. If you want to be an actor, look up different monologues, learn monologues and how they project, and how reaching out to other people who are actors to kind of give you tips on how did they get to where they are. Research. Google is at your fingertip. There is no excuse on why you don't know nothing or why you can't be nothing. In this day and age, you can be anything you literally desire
mm.
because Google is at your fingertips. We all have a smartphone. You can Google search everything and ask Siri or Alexa to do anything. So there's no excuse. No excuse on you for not be successful. So you can get that out your mind. No excuses. I don't play with you can't come to me with no excuses. Well, I was like this, so I was like, okay, now what you doing now? So you
Mm.
have to want it. Figure out what makes you happy and you go forward. And that's what I would say.
Wow, man. Thank you, man. Wow. I mean, this has been a a I don't want to say a stark contrast from the last time you was on, but you've done many things and been able to share
Thank
many blessings that came your way since our last uh, interview, which was over a year and a half ago. You done left, switched jobs. I saw
you.
that when you left your job, and they gave you a party,
Yes, I done did
and your stage plays and the different characters that you
yes.
play. Oh man, you done did a lot of stuff, and I
I just
just
try to be a blessing and I tell people I try to be a vessel of inspiration. So people, because I don't like being put in a box. Don't ever put yourself in a box. If your mind think it, do it. Just go for it.
right. Oh man! So and also I want to thank Alicia Robinson. Thank you for watching, and
Thank you.
she's
Thank you.
working on her master's degree right
All
now. So
right, come on. We need your
congratulations.
got mine. Well, I've had mine about 2 years now, but yes, come on, master degree.
Yeah, absolutely. So don't stop, won't stop. That's what Manny said. He can't stop. So
Exactly.
yeah, kidney disease doesn't have to be the final word. And I agree with what you said, Tay. Don't let kidney disease uh, let it control your life. You control it. you make sure you don't let it have to center your life around it. It centers around your life.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So
So
I mean, of
I
course, now don't take it out of proportion where you just doing what you want to do. No, educate yourself
right,
on how
right,
to take care of yourself, and then you work around that. Because a lot of people think because I come off sometimes I come off harsh and blunt, but it's all out of love. But the thing is, learn about your body and how your body works with the medication, with the disease. Figure out your body first before you begin to make plans. Me, I know my body so well, just like the backside of my hand. So I know what'll work for me and what won't. And the things that don't work, I find a way around it. So you find out how to work around the parameters of your life, and you go from there.
wow. I like that, man. Work around the parameters.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a new saying. You can put that on a t-shirt. Work around the parameters of your life. No, that's
Yeah,
inspiring, man, because a lot of people feel like they got parameters on their life right now because
exactly.
they feel like uh you go to dialysis 3 days a week, and then the other days they're trying to recover from the dialysis treatment, and you mentioned that as well. Uh,
Mhm.
when you was an adolescent recovering from dialysis, being tired, so
Yeah,
it's about being health smart, like Artavius said. Know your body, go to treatment, don't
yeah,
pull too much off, run a slow treatment,
right,
and hopefully you won't feel washed out trying to pull off a large amount of fluid
right,
over a short period of time.
right. And even if you do, that's okay. You'll try it the next time. So if
Exactly.
this day it just put off too much and you just too weak to even look at TV, take a nap, lay down, rest, listen to your body. Your body will tell you what to do. But sometimes the body will do too much and you're like, okay, now I gotta do this. I done gave you your rest day. I gotta work. But you just take your time, don't rush it. You have all of your life to be who you want to be. So just
Awesome.
take your time.
Wow. Man, Tay, thank you so much, man. You spent 90
Thank
minutes
you.
with me
Thank you.
on Urban Renal Health with Tamika and Steve. My partner had the night off, so I had to run the
Oh,
ship.
I miss Tamika. Hey Tamika, I'm gonna see you next time.
Oh, absolutely, man. We're gonna bring you back. I mean, we got several shows, man. We would like you already been on Jared, but
I
uh,
know.
Lisa Baxter show, and definitely want to see you on Transplant Talk with Nashonda. I
If you
mean,
ever want me
even
to
though
come, I'm coming.
even though you're the same person on these different shows, we each have our own style of the questions asked and a
Exactly.
way how you may answer those questions. And so your story is very inspiring, Artavius. And again, man, I'm so fortunate to know you, and I look forward to one day. I mean, one day soon. I'm not talking years. I'm talking
Yeah.
soon, like 6 months of
Right.
maybe coming to Memphis and meeting you, and just maybe just trying to put something together for
Yes, of
inspiration
course.
to take this to another level for
Right.
kidney warriors to unite.
Yes, I'm always down to collaborate. We can, because I'm an artist, so I come up with something real quick. But I'm always down to collaborate. For those who want me on this show, just message me. I'm coming. Make sure it's in my schedule so I can be sure to have the time off. And yeah, collaborate. I'm all about that. Being able to share my story to help somebody else and to help boost your platform or do what I can do to help you out because you are doing amazing. All of y'all on this network are doing superb. And I'm so
Thank you,
proud to be a
man.
part of this. And I'm so proud of this
I mean,
platform.
we're
Thank
happy to have you on, man.
thank
I mean,
you.
I see you all the time, and even before you came on,
Yeah.
I always supported you because I like
Yeah.
your artistic creativity, man.
Thank you.
I really do,
Thank
and I support you, and I will keep supporting you. And
thank you.
let people know one more time where they can get your book, and show them your book one more time.
Yeah. So it is becoming a living testimony by Artavius VZ. This is how you spell my name. ARTAVUS VEASEY. And it's on here too.
Right.
And you can find it at Barnes and Noble online, Barnes and Noble, Walmart.com, Target.com, Amazon, and Books a Million. Those are like the five major like places where you can find it. And but you can also Google Artavius VZ book, and a list of places where you can order offline will come up, and it's also available overseas and everything as well. So wherever you want
Oh,
it,
absolutely. So, guys, please share. Go to his page. Do you got a page just for your book?
no, I wanted to get one. I had started one at first, but then I didn't like it because it was beginning to be too many pages that I'm running. So I do it on, you can either on Artavius VZ, my personal page, or Tay VZ, which is just my personal private whatever page that I'm on all the time. So either one of those pages, I'm there and responding right back.
Sure. Sure. All right, man. Well, again, guys, Artavius Veazey, author, kidney warrior, becoming a living testimony. Go out, check out the book. I mean, he showed you a little bit, gave you a little snippet, a little taste of what's in the book, but it looks really powerful. Those pictures were riveting. Um, man, can I get you to send me an autographed copy?
You know what? I got one right here just for you. Thank you.
Oh man, I appreciate that. I'll send you
I
my address.
And I'll be doing a giveaway real soon too. So yes, I'll let you guys know about that as well.
Yeah, I would definitely like to read that book, and that's the thing. Before I let you go, see, this is another thing we should be doing.
Uh-huh.
Lisa Baxter, she's an author. Phyllis Pinketto, she wrote a book. You wrote a book, and whoever else wrote a book that's a kidney warrior, we should be like read it and do like an Oprah book club, talk about it and what's going on, and share that with the author. Like, you know, I read the book talking to you about, hey, in chapter 2 or chapter 3.
Exactly. Those
And I just came up with an idea.
right. And for me, all I ask people is to get the book, just send me a picture with you having it. And those little small things make the author feel great. And my thing is to be able to just help and doing my part, to be able to just share my story to help one person. Man, I think
Absolutely. That's what it's all about. Helping somebody who didn't know the information before you told them. So, man, thank you so much, Tay, for being on. I'm going to reach out to you, send you my address.
Okay.
Dad Vice got one more thing he said. He said, make sure and write a review on Amazon for the book. Each review helps it get into more people's hands.
Exactly. Thank you for that. Exactly.
Yeah, hey, look, take advice from this guy, Dad Vice. He look, when he came on our show, right? In March, he had something like 48,000 subscribers on YouTube. Now he probably over 100,000.
Right. I'm gonna have to reach out to him. I'll be messaging you in a little bit after this, right?
Yeah, but yeah, definitely take his advice. Very good guy, kidney warrior himself. He missed dialysis. He found out that he was like almost at that last stage, and he turned it around. And he says he's at 91 plus now, 91,000. So
congrats.
Yeah, definitely reach out to him. He can definitely hook you up with some advice on reaching a larger audience so they can know that book, man. Definitely. And Manny, he's almost done with his book. So I mean, that's Manny, you, Lisa, Phyllis. I mean, one more person, we can do an author show and talk about the inspirations of creating these books. And everyone bring their book on just like this and show it. We're going to do that, Tay. Watch what I say.
I can bring a couple books to give some away to the audience. I mean, why not?
Yeah, we're going to do that. Manny, hurry up and finish that book. Maybe we can do it by the end of October. But even maybe bring him on before he finished just to share that information and inspiration. And the
Right,
point of
right,
all this is just sharing knowledge and information to give
exactly,
someone who's dealing with disease
exactly.
another way or means to try to deal with this disease the best
Right.
way they can from other inspiration people who dealt with it.
Right, and to give different perspectives. So like you said earlier,
Exactly.
it's not everybody's journey is not the same. So the way my journey was, you may not have went through kidney dialysis like I did. Some people been on longer. I was just 18 months. Some people may be shorter than that. And some I've had this older woman who's a aunt of mine, and she never went on dialysis. So she
Yeah, I
got
know a lot of people like that. That skip
so
James, Dad Vice TV. Then you
yeah,
got you got end of the spectrum from nobody starting dialysis and having kidney disease to Manny being on for 29 years and still going strong.
right, right,
So,
right.
wow, man,
It,
this has been a great show. I want to let you go. I keep going back. Like I said, I know we could talk about this for hours, but we're going to definitely bring you back, Tay.
yeah.
You can bet that. And I want to send you my address.
All
And
right.
again, man, thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedule to be on uh, Urban Reno Talk with Tamika and Steve.
Yes. All right. Thank you guys so much, and so proud of you again. And I will see y'all next time, or whoever show I'll be on. I will, and you know.
All right, man. Talk to you soon.
All right. Take care.
You too. Thanks.
Bye bye.
All right. Again, Artavius Veazey, author and kidney warrior, becoming a living testimony. Man, this was an awesome show. Again, thank you for the guys that stayed around the extra 40 minutes. We know this show is an hour, but when you got such great information and people want to share their story that hopefully can give other people inspiration, then we need to do that regardless of the cost and time. Uh, Thank you, James. We believe educating you and making sure you get the most out of your life, right, is much more valuable than 30 minutes or 40 minutes. We're talking about a lifetime. So, uh, James, thank you for watching. I really appreciate you and interacting tonight. God bless you. And everyone else who watched the show, Manny, Tracy Salmon, Martin Pito, Bridget, Arlisha, Jonathan, Lisa Baxter from the Lisa Baxter Show, Audrey from Sisters Against Kidney Disease, Leslie out of Atlanta, Bridget again. Let me see who else, and that's pretty much the same people. Jonathan, Jared. Thank you guys so much. Again, if we share and could come together as a community, man, we can be awesome. We can have our own platform. I mean, just like you have sports like the ESPN network, and you got sports fans that go there and watch. Thousands of sports fans who watch ESPN. It could be the same way with here because there's thousands of kidney warriors. Thousands, again, over 700,000 are diagnosed every year. So we could be that network just like the ESPN network. We just need people to help us build up the network. Sharing, you got multiple groups on Facebook. Try to infiltrate those groups and put the shows in there because people need to see this. We need to build up this network just like the ESPN network, like the fans for college football, basketball, baseball. We got to have fans of kidney disease and what to do and how to put it in its place. So that's why we got the Lisa Baxter Show, World Kidney News, Sisters Against Kidney Disease with Bella. Finding Your Will to Survive with Ray Alexandra. Warrior's Quest. Smashing Kidney Disease. Urban Renal Talk with Tamika and Steve. Kidney Stories with Uncle Jim. That's like about 8-9 different shows that can give you a different perspective on kidney disease. And I would like to say hello to Mama VZ. She's not on, but I can see her from backstage. And thank you for raising an amazing son in spite of dealing with kidney disease yourself. You are definitely a kidney warrior, and maybe one day we can have you on the show and have parents who raise kids with kidney disease. So maybe we can work on that one day in the future, because again, this is the key. This disease, it doesn't care who you are. If you're a mother, a father, a sister, brother, aunt, uncle, grandmother, you could be a dignitary, you could be a VIP. Ask Stevie Wonder, ask Esther Roll, ask Philadelphia Freeway, or Fife from Tribe Called Quest. So many people deal with this disease, and some people even hide it. So we got to bring that stigma out of the closet and say, it's enough. There's thousands of people that deal with the same thing. All you need to do is let people know what you're going through. Don't stay in the closet with this, because as Tay VZ said, if you deal with this yourself, that's when the depression can come and give you that 1-2 punch and knock you out. And I also like to, before I go, like to thank Tay for being very candid about his emotions and what he went through, even the thoughts of suicide. Hell, I even had those thoughts of suicide when I was down. So I'm not ashamed to say that myself. I mean, it's mental illness. We're human. As long as you don't stay there and entertain those thoughts, then you're okay. But once you start entertaining those thoughts and going into a dark place, that's where you need to come out and share your story. Talk to other people who are dealing with this disease just like you. And some people are having a worse time dealing with it than you, but they're still dealing with it. They're still pushing forward, as Tay said. So I want to read this last comment. I want to let y'all go. Again, thank y'all guys for hanging around. James said that would be a great show. I would like to know how she managed finding out her kid had CKD while she knew the impact. I know, James. That's why I said I want to know that too. I want to know that too, because you don't hear those type of stories. And when you do see them, the parent may be reserved on sharing that. They may be very reserved. So let's pray that Mama VZ may one day come on the show and share. I believe someone else's mom, I think Jonathan, shared that his mom had kidney disease as well. So that would be a great show just to talk about and just to get this this on the table to talk about it, so we can make an impact and decrease kidney disease from being the 9th leading cause of death to not even being a leading cause of death on the top 10. Let's knock it off the top 10 list of the leading cause of death in the United States. So, I mean, if it could be the 12th or the 13th, I don't want it to be no leading cause of death, but if we can knock it off the top 10, that's a start. So, again, guys, thank you for watching. Love you guys. I'm so humbled that you stayed on to watch this. There was a time where people will be gone after the hour mark because it's late. So thank you. We are so ever humbled that you tune in each week to watch our shows. And I can speak for the rest of the hosts that we're so grateful for you tuning in. So thank you, guys. God bless. Take care. Stay blessed and encouraged. And as always, as my partner would say, your kidneys matter. God bless and have a good night. Peace.
Y'all, it's about to go down. I said, y'all, it's about to go down.